Water, sparkling water, lemon, osmosis, carbonated, filtered, distilled. See, we in trouble.
Welcome to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O. I am your super waterman, your ambassador for water. Super psyched to be here with you with And So It Flows here at 89.7 WTBR-FM, Pittsfield Community Radio. And So It Flows brings it to you, and it's all about the water. Today we're going to have Meredyth Babcock in here. She's going to be talking about a lot of stuff, from the Westfield River to puppeteering to
the abundance of water. The fool will get thirsty.
Yeah, Meredyth is going to be talking about water and other things that have inspired her to actually take on water in multiple different ways. So it's really exciting to have around second half of the show, so tune on in. We got a little bit of water music coming your way, and let's go check that out. We're going to be starting with Scott McCreery, Water Tower Town. And So It Flows, the only show for H2O.
In a water tower town, everybody waves. Church doors are the only things open on Sundays. Word travels fast, wheels turn slow. Yeah, working hard and living right is the only life we know. Friday night football is king, sweet tea goes good with anything. If fireflies come out when the sun goes down, nobody eats till you say amen, and everybody knows your mom and them. You can see who loves who for miles around in a water tower town. Your word's your word, and our pickup trucks, they ain't for looks, they're made for work. Corn grows high, crime stays low. There's little towns everywhere where everybody knows. Friday night football is king, sweet tea goes good with anything, and the girls come out when the sun goes down. Nobody eats till you say amen, and everybody knows your mom and them. You can see who loves who for miles around in a water tower town. Yeah, Friday night football is king, sweet tea goes good with anything. Peace and quiet makes such a beautiful sound. And nobody eats till you say amen, and everybody knows your mom and them. You can see who loves who for miles around in a water tower town. Yeah, in a water tower town.
That was Water Tower Town. Scott McCreery singing that one. That was coming from Clear as Day. You're listening some backdrop. We're here by the ocean. Super Waterman here with And So It Flows, the only show for H2O. Really just thanks for coming down. Super excited to be here with you, providing you some H2O point of view. I call it intentional water media for the other 75%. Yes, 75% of us is H2O. Each and every one of us is at least that. Unless, of course, you're extraordinarily dehydrated. But normal humans have about 75% water. It's truly amazing why and so it flows. We'll tell you more as we go along, but really, to get water's point of view is really amazing, because you're finding out that it provides access to life, and isn't that something? There's so much more to water, so much more. We have some Billie Eilish coming with Ocean Eyes. You're listening to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O.
I've been watching you for some time. Can't stop staring at those ocean eyes. Burning cities and napalm skies. 15 flares inside those ocean eyes. Your ocean eyes don't fail. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. Never falling from quite this high, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. I've been walking through a world gone blind. Can't stop thinking of your diamond light. Careful creature made friends with time. He left her lonely with the diamond mine. And those ocean eyes don't fail. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. Never falling from quite this high, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. Don't fail. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. I'm never falling from quite this high, falling into your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes.
That was Billie Eilish singing Ocean Eyes. Don't Smile at Me album. Another water tune coming your way. Why water songs? Why, you ask your host, Super Waterman. Why? I'll tell you why. It's about our show. How do we find ways to connect people with the relevance and value of water? Well, that's what And So It Flows is all about. And So It Flows blends H2O music, H2O news, H2O talk, and we are bringing water to listeners' radar screens in both simple and profound ways. Our show actually engages listeners to see water through a wider prism, and So It Flows is intentional water media for the other 75%, the part of Earth that no one speaks for. And we now see water as more than a clear liquid. Water is our culture, religion, philosophy, economy, art, music, politics, throughout the moist fabric of our lives. You could say that I'm bringing water outside the cup. And that's what And So It Flows is all about. So stay tuned as we keep on flowing through the next part of our existence together here at And So It Flows. You're listening to 89.7 WTBR-FM, Pittsfield Community Radio.
Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga, Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol, hey, Watanegi con su, upi pati, yupi pati, Luli Rani guanaga, upe, upe, Watanegi con su, Luli Rani guanaga. Con la cintura muévela, con la cadera muévela. Si lo que quieres es bailar, si lo que quieres es gozar. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol, hey, Watanegi con su, Luli Rani guanaga. Pati, yupi pati, Luli Rami guanaga, upe, upe, Watanegi con su, Luli Rami guanaga. Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga, Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga. Si tú quieres bailar, sopa de caracol, hey, Watanegi con su, Luli Rani guanaga, upe, upe. Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga, Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga, Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga, Watawinegi con su, Watawinegi guanaga. ¡Sacude, sacude! La cintura, la cintura, la cintura, la cintura, la cintura, la cintura, la cintura. ¿Sabe quién llegó? ¡Banda Blanca! Rikitiki, 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 rikitiki. Afloja la cadera. Cadera. Watanegi con su, upi pati, yupi pati, Luli Rani guanaga, upentu, upentu, Watanegi con su. la cintura muévela, con la cadera muévela. Si lo que quieres es bailar, si lo que quieres es gozar, si tú quieres pedir sopa de caracol, hey, guatanegui con su, oh, Luli Rami Guanaga, Upentu. Chequea.
You're listening to And So It Flows, your only show for H2O. You know who that was just singing before? That was Florence and the Machine, What the Water Gave Me, off her Ceremonials album. And before that, and a little shout out to the local Latin community, Sopa de Caracol, off the Banda Blanca. Well, that's Sopa de Caracol, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, means soup of, I think it's seashell soup. And an incredible merengue beat. Totally love Sopa de Caracol and soup, as well as seashells, need water to be created and live. You're listening to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O. And super excited. We have our guest came in and she's sitting, being with us. I'll bring her on in the next couple of minutes. Meredyth Babcock from Westfield, Wild and Scenic Rivers. Until justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. Martin Luther King. You know, that's really cool. It's because it's about America, it's about freedom, human rights, inspirational, justice, peace, pride, and water. Common thread. Water runs through it. Here's another one. In one drop of water are found all the secrets of all the oceans. In one aspect of you are found all the parts of existence. And that's Khalil Gibran Jr. And that's existence, life, philosophy, and water. You ask why? Because water doesn't ask. Water just flows. A little bit more tunage coming your way with Bad Moon Rising, Creedence Clearwater Revival. And at the middle of the hour, at 2:30, actually 2:32-ish, we're going to be bringing on Meredyth Babcock from Westfield, Wild and Scenic Rivers. And she'll talk to us and be with us and answer some questions regarding her work in water and perhaps a few other tidbits of her work in the world.
I see bad times today.
listening to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O, here on WBCR LP 97.7 FM. That was Creedence Clearwater Revival. Why the music? It's like water does. So we could chill and be like overwhelmed with how much water is in our music. And coming on up, we got our current Ship of State. Here's World Party with Ship of Fools.
We're setting sail to the place on the map from which no one has ever returned, drawn by the promise of the joker and the fool, by the light of the crosses that burn, drawn by the promise of the women and the lace and the gold and the cotton and pearls. It's the place where they keep all the darkness you need. You sail away from the light of the world on this trip, baby. You will pay tomorrow. You're gonna pay tomorrow. You will pay tomorrow. Save me from tomorrow. I don't want to sail with this ship of fools. No, no, no. Save me from tomorrow. I don't want to sail with this ship of fools. No, no. I wanna run high right now. Avarice and greed are gonna drive you over the endless sea. They will leave you drifting in the shallows, drowning in the oceans of history. Traveling the world, you're in search of no good, but I'm sure you'll build your Sodom like you knew you would. Using all the good people for your galley slaves, as your little boat struggles through the warning waves, but you don't pay. You will pay tomorrow. You're gonna pay tomorrow. Yeah, you're gonna pay tomorrow. Save me from tomorrow. I don't want to sail with
That was Ship of Fools, song by World Party and Anthony Thistlethwaite, which is a hard name to pronounce. But when you're by the water, you really don't care if people pronounce your name a little off. You're listening to And So It Flows. I'm your super waterman, ambassador for water. We're here at WTBR-FM in Pittsfield. It's actually 89.7 WTBR-FM Pittsfield Community Radio. And our show is water and water and water. And we have a really great guest. And our guest today is Meredyth Babcock. Meredyth, say hi to our water-loving listeners.
I must say it's pretty incredible to come in and get to listen to all of these beautiful water sounds.
It's really great to be able to speak and be with each other and find out really what everybody has in the area of water and what everybody's story is. Tell me a little bit about Wild and Scenic Westfield River and what's going on. What does Wild and Scenic mean?
That's a really good place to start. The Wild and Scenic is a designation that a river receives once it's been looked at and considered a pristine waterway. If it has what they call outstanding, remarkable values. So if it's particularly scenic or has recreational values that are unique, sometimes geological, it can be wildlife, historic, sometimes it's cultural features. And the designation helps both recognize and it also adds layers of protection.
I think I'm having a technical issue where... Oh, try now.
Try now.
That's
sounding a little better.
That's sounding way better. We're going to start
We're going to start again.
Nah, I love technical difficulties. I love it. I mean, there was probably a background echo of someone was thinking of talking, and I was really, 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 really glad that Jeff came in to solve our issue that I was like a little freaking out about.
Isn't that nice? I think I want a Jeff in my back pocket for, when I'm on the river and have some difficulty, I'll just look up. There he'll be.
So Meredyth Babcock is with us. Her mic wasn't working for about a minute and a half, but one of the things about live radio is you actually have an opportunity to be authentic. And this is what happens when human beings get involved in tech stuff, which is kind of why a lot of reasons. So tell me about Westfield River Scenic, Wild and Scenic Committee.
Sure.
And is that the full name of it?
So, well,
how does it work?
First, so the Wild and Scenic designation, did we miss that part in the silent? Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll get another stab at it.
Yeah, what does Wild and Scenic mean?
Well, it was under the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act, it's a method that our nation has for recognizing as well as protecting certain waterways that are unique. And the Westfield happens to be Massachusetts' very first wild and scenic river system. So I love that I get to work on this river that has those protections and that was recognized. It has 78 miles that are designated, which is unusual for a river that flows through private property as well as state and federal lands. The designation itself is there's sort of two ways for the nation to designate rivers. One is through the Congress, and the other is more of a state administered, which is the way that the Westfield had approached their designation. that allows for the communities to really be deeply involved in how the funding is used, and the funding comes to us through the National Park Service.
So as a group of individuals went together with a common cause to the State House on Beacon Hill or something like that? And asked your local
proposed,
reps and
then it
push
slowly
out.
went up, and then the final step would be to go to the Department of Interior and say, we really think this river has all these qualities, and the qualities are it's called outstandingly remarkable features, and those would be if you have a river that has particularly scenic stretches or recreational, geological stretches, history, and all of those things are taken into consideration. And then the final step would be that the Department of Interior would say, yes, your river segments meet all those criteria, and we believe you should have this designation. And then the National Park Service helps us oversee and make decisions about how we can educate the community and help them enjoy their river safely. I mean, for me, and I love working with the people that come forward to represent their towns on the committee, because they really want to be the voice of the river.
Oh, yeah.
So often we'll approach a project and think, what do people want to get out of their interaction with the river? And I feel like the committee members learn to step back and say, what can we do to facilitate the rivers and the water's needs, and invite people to participate and enjoy without any kind of damage or resource disruption.
Yeah. That's great. Now, a question. So what you created with the Westfield River becoming a wild and scenic designee, it would be something like a grassroots movement to take accountability for the waterway in this particular case, or water and its tributaries, or the body of water. But this is completely something that comes from the grassroots. Nobody's going to be shouting on behalf of the river and what it provides unless it's coming from the community.
That's the way that the Westfield was designated, that it's a state administered, and that it did very much come out of bubbling out, literally,
grassroots
of the communities that recognized that they had a river system that was fairly untouched, unmanipulated. One of the things that I've gotten to be a part of is watching assessments take place of certain segments, and the East Branch, that has the East Branch Trail that runs the whole length between Chesterfield Gorge and the Knightville Dam. There's a beautiful 6.5 mile trail, and when that was looked at, they realized this has some unique riparian meadows that are in existence because human beings haven't managed or manipulated the flow.
Can I just stop you there? Because sometimes I get lost in not knowing a word, even though I'm pretty linguistically facile. What does riparian mean for most other folks? So
riparian would be anything that occurs in the floodplain or adjacent to rivers, streams, rivers.
Okay, so it could be whatever lives or is there is in this area next to the river. Would you say, depending on the size of the river, the riparian area could be larger or smaller? Or is it usually...
Usually we consider 200 feet to either side of a flowing body of water as being part of that.
200, okay.
Because of how much... We like to think of all of these systems as living things that are breathing, and as they inhale, they expand, or exhale, and they decrease, and they have. We also call it their floodplain, or it's the part of land that they interact with mostly.
Totally, and totally understandable. So riparian is that. So that's pretty cool. Like the community coming together and standing for, and. It then begs to say, what does it take for a community that may already have a lot of water there and the community may not be aware of the value. I'm not talking monetary value, but every value.
Yeah. Well, that's a huge part of the work that I do. So I'm the outreach and project coordinator, and my job is to come up by listening to the community, and for me personally, listening to the river, to come up with ways in which I can conduct my outreach that conveys how significant the resource is, both to the land that it flows through and to the people that choose to live and interact with it along the banks. And so often the things that we love to do, it's difficult not to degrade habitat, waterways, simply because we're human beings and we sometimes bring things or put things on our skin or interact in a way that takes away from the very thing that we're trying to enjoy and appreciate.
Exactly.
So I try really hard to introduce people to a way of being in and with the river and the streams and the lakes that enhances instead of diminishes.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand. People come to the river with multiple perspectives, and to have water be respected in the process is it's maybe challenging, or it may be, how do we find it so it's even of interest to other human beings to notice.
Mm-hmm.
And actually that's one of the reasons I started this show here at WTBR, so we can start having those conversations and take a look at, with no loss of power, what's the impact of our world on the water that surrounds us.
Yeah.
And if it's music and culture that brings us there, let it be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty amazing. So do you, as a group, does Wild and Scenic actually do any specific programming that brings people to the body of water without a specific task at hand? Meaning, you're not here to clean, you're not here to, you're here to be or enjoy. Do you have anything like that as well?
We do. And as with all of the universe, we all went through COVID, so we pulled back on some of our programming that just had to do with getting out, but that's coming back this year. A lot of our programs, this on the 28th, it's a training/work day, and that's teaching people about how to identify and remove invasive species that they might find. The early response, or rapid ID early response, always works best with invasives. So I try and show people what the best ways to approach those along these river corridors, or in their own lawns. They can take any information that we're sharing back.
Yeah.
We do walks. I participated and developed a program to recognize and certify vernal pools through the Wild and Scenic program.
Cool.
I'll be marching in the Chester on Track parade on the 21st with a boat character that is highlighting how we get a great deal of pleasure playing on the water, and also inviting people to come to the table and learn about some of the other things that we're doing. The committee itself is working really hard to help the small communities with some of their culvert replacements, so identifying those that are causing the most issue along river segments that are really high quality streams, and identifying which those are, and helping the communities apply for grant funding through the Department of Ecological Restoration and their stream recovery program. So we're doing a lot of that. We also have community grants. So if there's a group or a community that has a particular area that would benefit the river as well as the community, they can apply to our...
That has to be within a 15-town radius.
There are 10 towns that have designated segments. Beckett, Chester, Chesterfield, Cummington, Huntington, Middlefield, Savoy, Washington, Windsor, and Worthington.
And depending on the size of the hill in your hill town, you can or cannot hear that from where you are now. But a lot of people who are in Pittsfield and listening to us right now have friends who are out there or perhaps live there and they're at work. Again, just for those of you who are just tuning in, you're listening to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O here at WTBR-FM in Pittsfield Community Radio. What's really great is to find out one thing from you. How does your work... Oh, who we're talking to? Meredyth Babcock of Wild and Scenic Westfield River Committee Group, but Wild and Scenic Westfield River. You are also a famed puppeteer. So talk to us a little, because we have about 5 minutes left, and I just want people to get to see if there's been any intersection between your famed puppeteering and water, and what exactly is it?
Sure. If I toured for many years as Dr. Marmalade. Hello, everybody. And then I was asked to write a show called The Watershed Waltz, and that was specifically to help broaden the way we think of and interact with the resource. That toured to elementary schools throughout the Westfield area and much farther. We performed it at the Berkshire Museum a couple of years in a row.
That's great.
And that was just a wonderful way to reach out to families and children who are still in such a place of excitement and discovery.
Are you willing to do that elsewhere?
That particular show, it would have to be quite a launch because it's a huge production. But I do still do Dr. Marmalade every now and then. And I also have been doing some shadow puppetry, creating macroinvertebrates with children to teach them about the critters that live under the water. One of my favorite being dragonflies.
Oh,
and they live
yes.
under the water for 2 to 7 years.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And
no way.
We will have our 3-foot dragonfly at the Chesterham Track Parade. And just realizing that as nymphs, they live under the water and then they hatch out as adults.
So they are nymphs.
Yes.
They're water nymphs.
They're water nymphs.
No way. What do we know?
What do we know?
And that's really, really a great thing, to have something like that come out of a conversation for water and puppeteering and wild and scenic rivers. Now, a couple of questions for us folks here who are listening and those who will be listening later. How do people actually get in touch with Wild and Scenic Westfield River and to participate with some of your programming?
We would love to have you join our email list, and it's sending me an email, Meredyth Babcock. The way that you do that is westfieldriver@gmail.com.
That's how you do it. And then is there a website as well?
There is, and that has a lot of historical information, but it is being updated right as we speak.
Yeah,
so
I know.
it doesn't
the
have...
whole world is updating right now.
Yeah, the whole world is updating.
Thank God it's not going to be Microsoft.
Yeah, so
Thank God.
I think that getting on the email list is the way to get current information.
Totally. We went down the Microsoft alley once. We don't want that again. At least let it be Google, not Microsoft. That's at least. But in the meantime, that's really great. For those of you just tuning in, we're really glad to have had a conversation with Meredyth Babcock of the Westfield Wild and Scenic Westfield River, a wild and scenic designated river in western Massachusetts, on the other side, the eastern side of the hill towns, but still very nearby. And just thanks for the work that you do, the grassroots activism, the puppeteering, the work for water that you do, and I'm sure that we'll be able to collaborate moving forward to create some opportunities to expand the conversation for water. Thanks again.
My pleasure.
Okay, great. And we got some more water tunes coming your way. This one by Creedence Clearwater Revival. You're listening to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O, and super psyched to have you be part of the water conversation.
Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time.
give and praise it because my life is 10 shades of gray. I pray all 10 fade away, seldom praise him for the sunny days. And like his promise is true, only my faith can undo the many chances I blew to bring my life to an end. Clear blue and unconditional skies have dried the tears from my eyes, no more lonely cries. My only leading hope is for the folk who can't cope with such an enduring pain that it keeps them in the pouring rain. Who's to blame for tooting gain into your own vein? What a shame, you shoot an aim for someone else's brain. You claim the insane and aim to stay in time for falling prey to crime. I say the system got you victim to your own mind. Dreams are hopeless aspirations and hopes are coming true. Believe in yourself, the rest is up to me and you.
Go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. I know that you.
Them have fizzy water, sparkling water, lemon, osmosis, carbonated, filtered, distilled.
Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to And So It Flows, the only show for H2O. Super happy to have had you today, letting me moisten your ears. Because it's about the water. It's about the H2O. And it's about how do we see it as relevant and good and important and life-giving. So I'll let you inquire about that.
In the abundance of water, the fool will get thirsty.